111 years ago, the Titanic sank in the northern part of the Atlantic Ocean. There were a total of 2,224 people on board, and according to the latest data, approximately 1,500 perished. The secrets of the Titanic continue to intrigue generations, so it's unsurprising that recently, well-to-do tourists embarked on a trip to the location of the legendary disaster. However, on June 19th, the Titan bathyscaphe vanished from radar, and now the entire world has come together in an effort to save the people trapped in the underwater trap. On board the submerged bathyscaphe in the waters of the Atlantic Ocean are wealthy individuals such as businessman Hamish Harding, Pakistani billionaire Shahzada Dawood, and his son Suleiman. However, no amount of wealth can guarantee their safety. If the vessel is undamaged, there is only about a day's worth of air remaining. The experimental ship failed essential tests and became lost at a tremendous depth, raising concerns that the passengers may indeed face a fate similar to that of the Titanic. But what specific unusual aspects do we recall about the ship that suffered its demise on April 14, 1912? Starhit presents 10 facts about the renowned steamship. 1. 3 million rivets were utilized during the construction of the Titanic, with many of them being meticulously crafted by hand. 2. The ship's builders were confident in its invulnerability, but they never anticipated the destructive power of an iceberg. 3. Surprisingly, binoculars were not available on the ship. This was a consequence of the scandalous dismissal of the second officer, who took the keys to the safe where the binoculars were stored as an act of retaliation. 4. On April 14, 1912, since the early morning, other liners' crews transmitted warnings about nearby icebergs. However, the Titanic did not heed these warnings promptly. The final warning reached the ship a mere 40 minutes before the collision with a massive iceberg. Unfortunately, the radio operator failed to receive the complete message, leading to a disrupted communication. 5. Many well-known individuals of that era were aboard the Titanic, including the millionaire Margaret Brown. Until the very end, she dedicated herself to assisting passengers in finding their places in the lifeboats. She also managed to save herself. After transferring to another ship, Brown actively contributed to helping the survivors of the Titanic by searching for blankets, provisions, and raising funds for them. 6. The businessman Benjamin Guggenheim met a more tragic fate. Like Margaret, he assisted passengers in their rescue, but did not rush to leave the sinking ship himself. When it became evident that the end was near, Benjamin changed into formal attire to face death with dignity. "We are dressed according to our status and ready to perish as gentlemen," he conveyed to the concerned individuals who urged him to board the lifeboats. 7. The musicians continued to play and encourage the panicked passengers even in the last moments. For example, the church hymn "Draw Near to Me, Lord" was played as the ship lay motionless underwater. 8. It took UNESCO 100 years to recognize the wreck of the Titanic as a cultural heritage site. They will now ensure that divers do not go hunting for artifacts from the wreck for profit. 9. There are many legends surrounding the ship. One of them claims that radio operators periodically catch SOS signals from the Titanic. Such observations were first made by the crew of the Theodore Roosevelt in 1972. Later, it was discovered that the legendary ship made itself known in this way in 1924, 1930, 1936, and 1942. The last time it happened was in April 1996. 10. The most recent passenger of the Titanic died relatively recently, in 2009, at the age of 97. At the time of the tragedy, she was only 2.5 months old. In conclusion, the Titanic remains an unsurpassed symbol of history and tragedy. This majestic liner will always stir our imagination and ignite interest in people of all ages. The story of its construction, demise, and discovery remains a mystery and a source of many fascinating facts. May this legend remain in our hearts, reminding us of the infinite power of human endeavor and tireless thirst for knowledge.